Hello and welcome to brand new program right here on Winners TV Youth Sport Express. With you today are your hosts Nias
and of course Yanoi from Sport Avi St. Lucia and Sport Avi OECS.
So Yanoi, what is Youth Sport Express all about?
Well, welcome. And Youth Sport Express is basically the one-stop shop for all youth sports news, highlights, interviews, banter, basically content. Once it's youth sports, it's right here on Youth Sport Express.
Yes, and we've come into a bit of a thing on here on Winners TV where we are going to be making you, the listeners, part of the Youth Sport Express experience. So we're going to be having, during our highlights and all the events that we cover, the listeners, the viewers are going to be the ones who are actually going to be involved in actually reporting on these events.
Of course, and that's just something else which makes Youth Sport Express so different, is that you can actually be a part of the action, be a part of the fun here at Youth Sport Express. And like Nias always says, once you see that Winners TV van, whatever the event may be, whether it's school sports, whether it's community sports, once that van is there, you have an opportunity to be a part of the fun right here on Youth Sport Express.
Yes, and concerning some of the things that we're going to be covering right here on Youth Sport Express, we're going to be covering things from school sports, from our athletes abroad who are excelling in the various fields, everything to do with sports in St. Lucia, right here on Youth Sport Express. You have to keep it locked. Now, Yanoi, first off on our agenda today is the development of football in St. Lucia among our young people, among our young girls. Now, Winners TV has been very proactive in getting some footage of some of the sports, the football among our girls in St. Lucia over the past couple of years. How do you see that developing in St. Lucia?
Well, it's something that I find has been slow to develop, but as of recent, it's actually picking up some nice steam. It's very nice to see some of the competition. You have inter-school competitions going on, right? And that's something that that wasn't really something you wouldn't see often before. And as a matter of fact, we even have some highlights of some inter-school football going on. We'll jump into that in a few. But just to answer the question, at the start, it was a bit slow, but as of recent years, it's been picking up steam and it's been looking very, very nice. Of course, we know football is not a sport only to be enjoyed by us guys.
Exactly. We have
lots of those who love the sport. Sometimes I go to competitions in my district, and you have lots of guys by the field, and you have lots of girls too. And some of them are really engrossed in the game, and it makes you feel like maybe they should have an outlet as well. To express their love for the game, they should be able to play the game as well. Most competitions in most communities, they're for the guys.
Yes, exactly.
For the guys.
So the first set of highlights that we have for you is a match between the Soufrière Comprehensive Secondary School and the Cyrus Simmons, where Soufrière Comprehensive came out 1-0 victors. So let's jump right into the footage of that particular match.
And yes, folks, that was the highlights of Soufrière versus Cyrus Simmons Comprehensive. Nice, what do you think about those highlights?
A very fiercely contested match between the two teams, and I'm just pleased to see the high level of intensity, the high level of skill among our girls.
That was something I was very, very impressed with. The forwards, great work. This is some of the skills is something I'd like to see some of the guys do when they play in the game. So I can definitely see that the female football in St. Lucia is, like I said, is picking up steam, and we just have to keep it going, keep it rolling, because I believe some great stuff can come out of that right here in St. Lucia.
Yes, and other stakeholders involved also need to place keen interest on funding a lot of the competitions that we have among our girls in St. Lucia.
Most definitely.
That's something that I think is actually lacking.
Yeah,
so
and most
the
of the
more
time,
funding that they get, the more support, the better the level of the game would improve in St.
definitely.
Lucia.
I couldn't agree more. Most of the time, that's what the issue is, and as long as we can get that in place, then that's something that would definitely progress. And like I said, we could definitely see some positive things coming from our girls football here in St. Lucia. All right, we have some more highlights coming up. Next, we have Micoud versus Hess, and we saw the Micoud Comprehensive School taking on Hess and destroying them with a 5-0 scoreline. Let's jump to that highlight and see what it was all about.
Fiercely contested match between the Hess Comprehensive and Micoud. Micoud, of course, have a very rich history and passion for the game of football. Of course, Micoud being the defending Black Hat champions, and I'm guessing that has also filtered down into the young ladies.
Most definitely, and I mean, I can attest to that myself, being from the community of Monrepo, which is pretty close to Micoud. So I happen to be around the Micoud football a lot, especially when there's matches on the Micoud playing field, when the lights are on. The atmosphere is amazing. And I can definitely say that the players from Micoud are a set who are very gifted when it comes to technical ability. You know, they are fun to watch. And if you witness the Black Hat finals and, of course, the semi-finals as well, the Micoud team is fun to watch. They attack with pace. And it's beautiful. It almost reminds me of Brazilian football, not to be boasting too much. Hi Team Micoud. But yes, it filtered down to the girls, as you could see. A scoreline of 5-0, which could have easily been 6-0.
Yes, it could have been. And so Micoud took advantage of a lot of loose defending from the Hess team. And I'm guessing with a lot of experience and with more games under the belt, that the Hess team would be able to improve.
Most definitely.
So when they next come up against a team, that they'll be place a better account of themselves.
Yeah, they'd be ready and they'd be able. So to the Hess team, I mean, we win some, we lose some, but what you have to remember is that a loss is just an opportunity for you to better yourself.
And what did you think of number 8, Yanoi? Because while the highlights were played, number 8 was the one who seemed to have caught your attention more than any other player on the team.
Yeah, she basically took up the star role, cutting down the line. She had some good crosses in. She's good, took on a few players. I didn't see I didn't see one failed dribble from her. All of her dribbles were successful, going past the defenders. And she was having fun. You could see after she scored the goal, she and her teammates, they were jumping around, laughing, having fun, and that's what football is really about. It's a joy to watch, honestly.
And I'm just happy to see that the young ladies in St. Lucia they have taken to it so well, because I know that I'm from Choiseul, and there has been this drive in Choiseul to get young females introduced to the sport of football.
Mm-hmm.
They've been sponsored the shirts, the balls, and everything that they need to get that done. And I know that the Chad Daisy has been taking one of the lead roles in St. Lucia in pushing forward female football.
Of course, and not just female football, youth sports on the whole. Chad is very dedicated, and he has put in a lot of work for St. Lucian sports, youth sports, and it's commendable. If you have to go back and look at his track record, it's very commendable. So we just like to take this moment to tell him good job and keep pushing and keep doing the good work.
Yes. So if you want to follow sports in St. Lucia when it comes to our females, our young girls playing the sport of football, right here on Youth Sport Express, we will be providing the highlights of the matches. We'll be giving you in-depth discussion, in-depth highlights and analysis of the various sports while they happen in St. Lucia.
All you have to do is just keep it locked right here to Youth Sport Express.
Yes. And Youth Sport Express has also been following the sports meets at the various schools. And when we started, I was telling the listeners about the fact that we want to use the viewers, we want to use the students at the various schools that we cover to do the reporting for Youth Sport Express, get them involved in that whole experience of reporting. So what exactly are your views before we tune into the sports for the Micoud Secondary School?
Mm-hmm.
What are your views on that whole initiative?
Well, it's a wonderful initiative. I know we have lots of young men and women out here who are into sports, but they're not into sports on the level of they wanting to play. They just have a conservative interest in the sport, and having an opportunity to report on your school sports, your community sports, is almost like the first step in becoming what you would call a Shaka Hislop.
Exactly.
Or Nias on your Sport Express. So definitely, it's something that they should definitely take a crack at. Like we said, when the show just started, when you see the Winners TV van, that's your opportunity. You just go right up to them and you can get an opportunity to report on your school sports, see yourself on TV. Because if you're from the school, you know your athletes. You know them better than everybody else.
You know them better than us.
Exactly. So you'd be the perfect person to report on them. So please don't let this opportunity pass you by, especially if you've been looking forward to. Take it. When the opportunity presents itself, grab it.
Yes, and the Youth Sport Express was at the sports meet for the Micoud Secondary School, and when I saw the results of the match, the sports meet, I was actually very happy because the green team. I did not go to Micoud, but if I go to any school sports meet, I would be supporting the green team.
Why is that?
I've been in green my entire school life. I've been in green.
It may be a coincidence, but I was in green also when I was in secondary school. I was in Walcott, the FCSS, we the best. I'm sorry.
And I was in Walcott as well at Sir Arthur.
I as well was
green.
in Walcott at Sir Arthur. So go green.
That is right.
So let's jump right to the highlights of the Micoud Secondary School sports meet. Let's jump into it.
Today, Micoud Secondary held the annual sports meet. I must say that it was a very good one. All the different athletes from the different houses, they came out there and they gave their best. In fourth place, we have King House with 880 points. In third place, we have Compton House with 919 points. In second place, we have Clark House with 955 points. And in first place, we have Malcolm X House with 974 points. The points were really tight. The athletes were very competitive. They came out there and they gave their best. Malcolm X came on top after a very long period of time, a number of years. I must say that the Malcolm X House, masters, athletes, and every other person, we are very happy about that. Reporting for Youth Sports Express, I am Corson Charles.
Thank you very much, Ms. Charles, for a very in-depth and very, very impressive by the young lady.
It was very impressive, and it's just a joy to see, she reporting on the school sports. You have the students in the background having fun. the images of the greenhouse going crazy. It's
Crazy
wonderful.
indeed.
But we have to cut for a short commercial break right now, and we'll be right back.
On Youth Sport Express.